Welcome back aboard the airship Curiosity, and you're just in time for our next question.
Hi, Pilot Lindy. I was just wondering, how do policemen train police dogs?
A police dog, or canine, is a dog that is specifically trained by police and law enforcement personnel in their work, such as searching for drugs and explosives, searching for lost people, and protecting their handlers. But how are they trained to do all of that? Let's investigate the answer. To get to the doggone truth of how canines are prepared for police work, we drop by the Virginia Beach, Virginia police dog facility. Here at any given time, a number of dogs are being put through their paces before they earn their badge and the distinction, police dog.
The dogs are so important for police work, really, because they're a force multiplier for us. The dogs can do so much more work by themselves that would require multiple officers to do.
Dogs fill many police roles: drug detection, sniffing out explosives, searching and patrol work. Regardless of the role, it takes a particular kind of dog.
The kind of dogs that are most suited for police work are dogs with high drives. That's what we're looking for. If the dog has high drives, you can manipulate those drives to get them to do what you want, from obedience to detection work to bite work or anything along those lines.
Typically, police departments use 3 breeds of dogs for police work: German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, and Dutch Shepherds, perfectly suited for patrol. The dogs are purchased from vendors in the United States, but most come from Europe, where they are bred and sometimes trained for this type of work. So once the right dog is found,
we bring them back here. They're what we call green dogs at that time. They have very minimal training, usually some obedience and maybe a little bit of bite work.
a green dog is a young, inexperienced dog with little to no training. This works well for police, as the dog has developed no bad habits. And so the training begins.
There's certain things that they have to pass for certifications, so we're training them to pass those certifications, and then we're basically getting them ready to deploy on the street to use in that capacity.
Here's an interesting fact. A police dog's commands are spoken in the language of the dog's native country. If the dog is Dutch, the handlers speak Dutch. If they're from Germany, German is used.
And the reason we do that is kind of twofold. Some people think it's so the bad guy can't call our dog off, but that's really not the case. It's just easier to teach them in their mother tongue. They've already learned commands in that language, so why reinvent the wheel?
Perhaps the most important part of training is the bite. You've seen it in movies and TV shows where the dog chases down the bad guy and pulls him to the ground by biting on the chest or leg.
The dog's going probably for the biggest body part that's presenting itself, but typically on a male standing up or running away, we usually generally have him hit in the front chest area or in the back tricep. And it's just a matter of conditioning the dog where to bite.
That's no puppy love there.
So we have to kind of condition the dog where we want him to go, and it's just repetitive training over and over and over to get the dog to go where you want them to go. But they'll typically just target the first and largest piece that they can get to.
Police canine, if you're inside the field, sound off, face the dog, you will be bit, final warning.
Through it all, handler and dog become strong partners, both on and off the job.
The dogs become very, very responsive to their handlers, and the reason behind that is because we have them train together, work together all day long, then they go home with the handlers at night, they live with the handler and their families. But typically a police work dog will work until he's about 9 years old, is the median, I guess. Some will work a little longer, some work a little shorter. And then at that point when they're ready, we think they're ready to retire, the handler that has them will have first dibs on keeping the dog. And typically the handlers all keep the dogs that they've been working with all the years. And they'll retire them at home, and then the handler will be assigned a new dog and train a brand new dog.
And that's a cycle that gives a trusty old servant a new leash on life. Dogs from Europe are often given commands in their native language. Many people think this is so no one besides the handler can accidentally give them an attack command in English. That's a myth. The real reason is much simpler. The dogs were trained with those command words, and it's much easier for the officer to learn a few Dutch or German words than to retrain the dog with new commands. With that, we'll begin planning our next adventure where we'll take some more of your great questions, like how in the world do we stay balanced on our bicycles, or how in the world does a tire hold air? Why in the world aren't there any more dinosaurs? Why in the world aren't there no